Hello everybody. Today I'm going to discuss with you how to forgive somebody. And the reason why it's so important is because forgiveness is not a thing that you actually do. Forgiveness is a result of a process that you've been through in order to get to a point of forgiveness. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Natasha Williams and I'm a mindset coach, an empowerment coach. And my aim here is to help uplift you and get you to a place where you'd rather be than in the place that you are at the moment. So, how do you forgive someone? Firstly, you need to understand that when somebody does something to you, it's not about that person. It's a trigger inside of you that got triggered. There's a button inside of you. You felt the pain. You had the thoughts. They might have done something, but it triggered the pain and thoughts in you. And that pain and those thoughts don't come from that experience. From my own experience, everything that's ever happened in life is a result of things that happened to you in your formative years. And certain things may have happened where you felt you couldn't do anything about it. You were subject to the powers that be, which is your caretakers, and how they treated you was what you had to accept, whether you liked it, didn't like it. In fact, your subconscious mind doesn't even question it. It just takes it as is. But then when you get older, your conscious mind takes over and says, hey, this isn't right. I don't need to be treated this way. I don't like to be treated this way. But your subconscious mind has already been programmed that this is how you get treated. So whether you like it or not, that is just what it is. So the first step you need to do is go take that experience of that thing that got done to you, that you perceive as being done to you by somebody else, and find the link, find the experience where it came from before, where in your childhood, and try and go back as far as you can. And I promise you, the minute you close your eyes and you connect to the feeling, that memory will come up. Now, there are processes and ways to do it. I can't share that here because I'd have to talk you through it, and that's something that each person needs to go through either with somebody or as a meditation, and it's unique to you. But I will tell you the steps. So when you connect to that memory, then you need to understand that that is something that happened to you as a child. Now, there's a lot of people that try and teach it in NLP. They call it reframing. So what you do is you take that memory and you run through it in a different way. So you might take that memory and say, run it backwards, or make it happy like a clown, or make it speed up or slow down so that your memory of it becomes altered in some way. Now, yes, it can work, and yes, it does work. But I have another theory, and my theory is that it's not about trying to trick your brain, because a part of you says, well, it did happen. It did happen to me, and I was done in. And so I say, you need to go back and mourn the loss. Mourn the loss of that thing, that childhood you should have had. Mourn the loss of the experiences that you wanted that you didn't have. Because then you are fulfilling that deep need in yourself. If you needed to get heard, then mourn the loss of that child that wasn't heard, or the child that should have had a parent that cared about them, that maybe didn't beat them up, or whatever the experience is. And when you mourn the loss, you're actually able to go through that process of sadness, because what underlies most things, what underlies anger, is actually grief. So when you get to that point, if you know what the 5 stages of grief are, the Kubler-Ross stages of grief, the final stage of grief is acceptance. So you'll go through various stages like denial, anger, bargaining, but grief leads to acceptance. And when you accept that this is what happened, you can't change it, but it is something that happened in the past. It happened to you, and nobody should have gone through what you went through, and you did. Then forgiveness comes. But you cannot have forgiveness until you accept that what is. So you might say, but I would never do that to somebody. Now, let's say if we know that every person walking on this earth is wounded, every person walking on this earth is reacting out of their childhood programming. If somebody does something mean to you, it's not a direct attack on you. It's a reaction from the space that they come from in childhood, where they are acting out a story that wasn't resolved, a pain that didn't happen. And so when you can put yourself in their shoes, and you know, there's that saying that says you can only judge if you've walked a mile in somebody else's shoes. You might say, I would never be that way. But the fact is, those things that happen to you, you would never do either. And that is why you have such a hard time accepting, because you are saying, that's not who I am. But the fact is, people are not you. You are not them. You don't ever want to be like them. And who's to say that they're not right? And you might say, well, there's certain things that are right and things that should be done or shouldn't be done. Well, sometimes I've been proven to be wrong. And it's about having an open mind. It's about accepting and allowing what happened to happen. It doesn't mean you have to like it. What it means is it can make you, it can teach you something. So the next step is then saying, what can I get from this? What can I gain from this experience? If somebody, for example, humiliated me, if I can really understand that that humiliation is like a signpost on my forehead that says I get humiliated because that's something that happened to me, then first of all I can own it and say, well, maybe I am carrying that. Maybe I'm carrying that energy, and people are picking up on it at an unconscious level, and so they're responding to that because they are seeing where my buttons are and they're pushing my buttons. So if I alter that, I won't be attracting that. So there you have power. There you can see where your part is in it. So you might not have actually consciously gone out and done it, but you've subconsciously gone and attracted it. So if you altered that, then you could say, well, if I understand that that person is coming from a point of pain, if they are narcissistic and they feel the need to run me down, the reason why they're doing it is because they don't feel good and they need to lift themselves up. So it's not about me, it's about them trying to get themselves in a position of authority. And I am allowing it by making myself smaller, by taking it on and making myself feel bad about it and beating myself up and questioning why is he doing it. But he's not doing it, or she's not doing it to me. He's doing it out of his own pain. And he'd do it to anybody. I just happen to be the one that he did it to. And I happen to have my own pain, which attracted that. So now I can see the dynamic and that dance that's going on. So when I can change who I am, if I can stop allowing that because I mourn the loss of that and I let it go, I'm not carrying that heavy energy. And that heavy energy, once it gets lifted, people don't get attracted to that anymore. So I won't be a target anymore. Another thing is I could decide, well, if I'm not going to be treated that way, what else can I learn from it? I can decide I'm going to be a better person. Maybe I'm going to, a lot of good deeds happen in the world because of things that were done. Charities are formed because of people witnessing other animals being in pain or children being orphaned or whatever. Great things happen that come out of suffering. And maybe I'm going to be the one that actually gets motivated enough to go and do good things. Maybe I can pay it forward and say that I'm not going to allow it. It happened to me. I know the pain. And maybe I can go out there and make a difference in the world and use this experience of mine to prevent hundreds or thousands or even millions of people from not having to go through the same thing that I did. And my favorite saying is that evil flourishes when good men do nothing. And if you're a good person, then just sitting back and feeling sorry for yourself is not doing anything. So do something. My contribution is to teach. My contribution is to share my experiences and my knowledge and things that I've gained over the years and my wisdom, that I can help other people to find that within themselves. And that is my part in it. So, and also the last thing is, nobody is innocent. Nobody has never done anything, whether it's intentional or not. And if you look into your past, you will know that there have been times that you have done things that have hurt others. And even if it's not intentional, maybe you were rude to somebody. I've been rude to people before because I've been impatient and I don't know their day. I don't know that something maybe bad happened to them and I just snapped at them because I don't know them. And then I think, well, it doesn't matter. It doesn't care. They're just service providers. And that's a form of hurting people. So they could take that on just as personally as I do if somebody attacks me. And so it's always about finding that niceness in you and being nice. It's not about saying, you know what, I'm just going to forgive you and let it go. Because you haven't reached that emotional understanding. You haven't actually changed anything inside you emotionally that has actually caused you to change the frequency around you. It hasn't allowed you to let it go. And what you'll find when you heal that is all the other events that happen between then and between now, you'll start seeing it in the light of that pattern. There's a pattern that keeps recurring. And that's how you break the cycle. Because even when you get to toxic relationships, a lot of women are afraid to get back into relationships again because they're scared they're going to just attract another person. And that's the truth, they will. Because they are programmed to keep looking for that excitement. I had a client the other day that said, please don't tell me I'm never going to have that lust feeling. I'm never going to have those butterflies with somebody if I have to go and find a normal person. And the truth is, there won't be that excitement, because excitement, the equal opposite of excitement is drama and pain. And then you're constantly fluctuating between the two, which is uncertainty, insecurity, and you're looking for that high. What if you had a relationship that has a foundation of trust, of mutual support, and then add the lust, then add the element, then add the excitement? How much better would that be? Compared to, and you can still have that. It doesn't mean people aren't human. Normal people actually just do enjoy excitement, but they don't rule their lives with it. And that is the difference. And to me, I would rather have consistency and stability any day over this roller coaster ride of emotions, because stress just ages you. Stress causes illness. Stress is 90% of illness. And the thing is, when you are carrying unforgiveness in your body, you get disease. And it's like, you know, the famous saying that if you drink poison, it's like trying to drink poison and hoping the other person will die. You're carrying it. They're not. They might not even have remembered they said anything. And you'll have memories from childhood of things that were done to you. And if you confront people with it, they might just look at you with a blank face, because maybe to them, it's something that they reacted out of. They don't even remember that they did it. And here you are keeping this memory alive of this thing that was done. And you've had other experiences. You've had 365 days of a year where other things happened. But there was that one day, that 5 minutes that somebody said something to you, and you're carrying it around, and it's become so much bigger than all the other moments. And you need to collapse that. You need to take that moment and dissect it and find out, where did it come from? And is it yours? Or is it just somebody else's pain that they are carrying? And then you will find that you will start letting go and lifting your energy. Because forgiveness is one of the, or lack of forgiveness is one of the biggest causes of cancer, of heart disease, of all sorts of serious illnesses, because the body is under stress and you're carrying it around with you, and you're reprogramming your cells to keep that emotion going, and that emotion is heavy, and your body can't create new healthy cells. It's just reproducing unhealthy cells. So I hope that helps you. If you would like to heal yourself and heal those wounds, I have helped a lot of people to clear stuff and change their lives and turn their lives around for the best. Give me a call. I'll give you a free strategy call. We can discuss how to move forward. And please do subscribe to my videos. I'll be sharing a lot more content with you. And I hope that I get to know you better. So leave some comments below. I'd love to hear from you. And if you have any questions, please post them for me. And then I will share. I will share more videos. I like to share as much as I can. There's no cost. For me, it's about letting people uplift themselves. And if we can create a better society and a better community, then we will all live in a better world. And we don't have to allow this evil to continue to flourish. You have an amazing day.